Hey everybody, it's Ben in beta, and I cannot believe that it's already been an entire year since we purchased the Tacoma, and we've done so much this year. So before I kind of talk about my thoughts and opinions on this truck for the last year, let's just look at some of the things we've already done. So I bought this truck back in March of 2024. It is now March of 2025. The first thing that I did to it was I added the Kuat rack system to the back of the truck, and I did that in the mid-height. Kuat rack has been awesome. I've used it in several configurations, and now I've got it fully enclosed, which is pretty cool. I also then put the DIY Detail 5-year coating on, and that's held up very well. I also put on the Falcon Wild Peak AT4Ws right away in the beginning. Those worked really well, off-road, overlanding, on the road, in the snow, everything. They really are great tires. Those were in the stock size. We also then added a 4x4 Colorado Alto mini tent to the setup. I put on the Trail Hunter skid plates and the Trail Hunter rock rails on the Tacoma. And that's pretty much how we ran it for most of the summer, and it really performed awesome. I was super impressed with it. I was really happy with that setup and the truck overall. In the fall, I traded the AT4Ws in the stock size out for AT4Ws in the 33-inch size and added some Method 705 race wheels to the truck. And I'm really digging the look on that. They have been great too, even though they're E-load tires. I really haven't noticed anything different in terms of the ride quality or anything like that, which has been great too. But as far as how the truck has performed, I really have been impressed. From day one, I've pretty much liked everything about this truck. Almost every vehicle that I've owned in the past, after a year, I've had a lot of things to complain about. I really don't have anything to complain about this truck. Everything is just good. Nothing is like class leading. It's just everything is good. And the power is good. It's sufficient. The ride quality is good. The adaptive cruise control, that kind of stuff, I think that is near class leading. I really like that. So the safety systems, those are pretty great. The 14-inch touchscreen, love that. The HVAC controls, the steering wheel controls, the digital instrument cluster, other than a couple of little minor gripes, really has been great. So I don't know, after a year, I mean, this video is probably not gonna be that long because after a year, I really like this truck. I just don't have very many complaints. Gas mileage is low, but I have done a lot of things to make that poor. I live at elevation. I have bigger tires on my truck. I'm always carrying something big and heavy on the back, whether that's my tent or right now we've got the cap on there and that's heavier. It's just extra weight all the time. I often drive around in the city. I have to sit at stoplights a lot. So a lot of that stuff doesn't really lend itself very well to good gas mileage. And I guess if we look at kind of where we were for gas mileage, we can see that after I got my tires that my gas mileage has fallen off. So I went to the bigger tires. That does kind of make sense. And we're sitting about 17.3. This is probably not quite true because the vehicle thinks I'm still on the 31-inch tires. So we'll see, but 19.7 was my best, and that was when I was traveling back home. And that makes a lot of sense because I was not at elevation there. So I will be going back to Wisconsin for a long trip here in just a couple months, and we'll see at that point if the gas mileage changes or not. But right now, that's where I'm sitting, 17.3. So it's not amazing, but it is what it is. The only gripes I really have had in the beginning had to do with Android Auto and CarPlay, but the Android Auto stuff got fixed when I got a new phone. I've not had really any issues with it since then. I still have the issue where if I want to see my tire pressure, I have to long press in the middle, slide over, and head down to see what's going on there. And that hasn't been fixed by software updates or anything. I don't know if it ever will be or not. That's a pretty minor gripe, honestly, about a truck. I've also had some issues with the power tailgate. Now, Toyota did kind of tweak the latch there, and things seem to have been better. And I also put some bed stiffeners in my truck because, again, I carry a lot of weight, and I haven't had any problems since that time. We'll see. I'll let you know if I do. My truck was part of the TSB for the transmission issue, but I've had no problems with my transmission. I've not thrown any codes. Everything's been good there, so hopefully that continues. And I did just get a recall for the brakes. So there is an issue with the 17-inch wheels that if they get too muddy, that the brakes can have issues. And so they need to do some tweaks to that the next time I go in, but that's pretty minor because I don't really go mudding very often. Obviously the trails can be muddy sometimes, so that could be a problem, but right now, not a problem so far. We've done a lot of overlanding trips in the vehicle. It's been super comfortable. I've taken several 9+ hour trips all in one time. Super comfortable, no problems there either. Seats have been great. They've been really adjustable. The heated seats, the heated steering wheels all worked really well. So comfort-wise, that's been great. Got some wear and tear here. Looks like the paint's coming off a little bit right there on the steering wheel. I've got a couple scratches from overlanding, that kind of thing, but nothing too big there. Paint's held up really well. All the cameras make parking easy, all that kind of stuff. I've really just been impressed by the truck. And more importantly, I've just been satisfied. Normally, that's not the case. Like after a year, I'm like, oh man, there's got to be something else out there. And I haven't felt that way at all about the truck. I've never owned a Toyota before. Now, I do think I probably would have been really happy with the Ranger too, but I didn't have a chance to drive that before I purchased this truck. So, hindsight 2020, would I still purchase this truck? I think I would. I really do like this a lot. The Ranger might have a little bit better seating positions in the back for people, but we don't ever have anybody back there besides the dog most of the time, so that's not a problem for us either. And I do like the 14-inch display on here better than I like the vertical display of the Ford. I've used the speaker overlanding a bunch of times, and that's worked pretty well too. That's a pretty cool feature you don't get in a lot of other vehicles. So honestly, I'm really pretty happy with the truck. Everybody's got their opinions on what they like and what they don't like, but I don't have too many complaints. It's just all minor things that a couple times I've had my blinker kind of flash really fast. I don't know what that's all about, but then it's fine after that. Just kind of weird little things like that, but every vehicle has its problems. So I don't know, I've really been happy. I've got about a little over 10,000 miles on the truck at this point. And so if you're worried about longevity, that kind of thing, at least after the first year, I haven't had any issues. And again, we've been off-road quite a bit, put it in some pretty sticky situations here and there, and the truck has performed exactly as I wanted it to. I like the turbo. I like the noise of the turbo. I like the power of the turbo. It's just enough power. It doesn't need to be any more than that for me. Some people might want more, and you might want to go with the Chevy or the Ford. That's totally fine. It's totally up to you. But it's enough for me and my wife. We're happy with that. Storage has been really good as far as being able to store things in the truck. I've actually been able to put up more stuff in here than I thought, especially with the under-seat storage. I've almost never used the sunroof, so I guess I wish I didn't need to have to worry about that, because this honestly just adds a bunch of extra cost that I don't need. But other than that, not a big deal. So how would I wrap this up? I'm really happy with the Tacoma. Misty's really happy with the Tacoma. Rue seems to like it when she's in here too. And again, after a year, if I'm happy with a vehicle, that's a pretty big deal. So I think most people who purchase the Toyota will be pretty happy with it, but everybody's got their different quirks and things that they're looking for. If you have any questions about the Tacoma or want me to dive deeper into anything, please let me know. I'd be happy to make some more follow-up videos to this. I'm just really happy with the truck. There might be some more modifications this year. We'll see. Unfortunately for overlanding, I'm not going to be able to get out until a little bit later this year, probably like July. There's a couple of reasons for that. It kind of sucks. I'd really like to be out there, but I'm not going to be able to get the tent back on because I'm going to be driving all the way back to Wisconsin for about a month, and it doesn't make sense to put on. And once I get back from that, it'll be game on, probably just about every weekend, trying to find some cool campsites and hanging out in the wilderness again and putting this truck to the test. Remember that these videos do take a lot of time and effort to make, so please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that. Share this out with anybody who's interested in Tacoma long term. It's been pretty good so far. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, live your life in beta, and we'll see you next time.